Welcome back. We are breaking down now the state takeover at Fort Worth ISD and the impact that could have not only on the district and all of its students and their families, but also businesses around the city, something that maybe a lot of people haven't thought of. I didn't think about this, but you know that the Dallas Business Journal did. So we've got Seth Bodine with us here this afternoon to talk about this very interesting angle to this story that, the thread on this hasn't really been pulled a whole lot, and you all are getting into this now. So Fort Worth is the second district that the state has decided to place under TEA control. They have already done this with the largest district in the state, which is HISD in Houston, all because of consecutive years of failing performance within Fort Worth ISD, specifically at one school. So the district has now filed a petition to appeal that takeover. But in your article, you talked about how a takeover could actually kind of put a chill on businesses who, might be thinking of Fort Worth, and I guess maybe even some businesses that are already in Fort Worth, and they have a perspective in this as well.
Yeah, we've heard from everyone from real estate developers to economic development heads at fast-growing counties. Tarrant-County is one. Collin County is growing very fast, and they all say that a good school district is driving housing growth, it's driving business growth. So when the takeover was coming to Fort Worth, or could come to Fort Worth, we asked the question, well, what is the chance that this might damper some business prospects or make it more challenging to attract business in Fort Worth?
And what kind of answers are you getting there? Because I'm thinking, if I'm a CEO and I'm thinking of relocating my company and all of its employees and their families, this is something I'd be thinking about.
Right. I mean, a lot of economic development officials, business officials in Fort Worth have told me that it's sort of too soon to say. But one site selector, meaning people who help businesses select a site for their next company, say ultimately schools are a factor. It could be a deal breaker or maker. It really depends on the deal itself. But at the end of the day, these quality of life questions are going to be raised. Same with real estate. If you're trying to buy in, the quality of the schools is going to raise the value. There's been research on this, 10 to 20% usually. It's been done across. So there are business consequences in general to this decision.
But too early to tell in Fort Worth right now, but we have that prior case study of Houston where this has been happening for some time. Have we seen something like that in Houston, do you know?
Well, people are looking at Houston because they're looking at the unintended consequences of a takeover. And one of those is just teacher turnover. I mean, we've seen higher teacher turnover. That definitely impacts a school, and their efforts to turn school districts around. So anecdotally, I've seen that Houston has attracted, a $1 billion Eli Lilly factory. So it doesn't seem to be the single thing holding executives back. But for sure, it's definitely a conversation that executives are likely asking about when they're in negotiations.
And I think a lot of it too is going to hinge on who they choose to put in charge and so forth, and you're getting into that in the article as well, because that will have implications on how this all goes. If you'd like to read more about this, check them out online, Dallas Business Journals. You thought of the angle that I didn't think of on this one, so very nice work. Appreciate it, Seth.
Thank you.